Judges chapter 20, resolved to punish the guilty. Then all the sons of Israel from Dan came out, and the congregation assembled as one man to the Lord at Mizpah. The chiefs of all the people of all the tribes of Israel presented themselves in the assembly of the people of God, 400,000 men on foot who drew the sword. Now the Benjamites, in whose territory the crime was committed, heard that the other tribes of the sons of Israel had gone up to Mizpah, and the sons of Israel said, "How did this evil thing happen?" So the Levites, the husband of the woman who was murdered, replied, "I'd come with my concubine to spend the night in Gibeah, which belongs to the tribe of Benjamin. But the men of Gibeah rose up against me and surrounded the house at night because of me. They intended to kill me, but instead they raped my concubine so brutally that she died. So I took my concubine and cut her corpse in pieces and sent her body parts throughout the land of the inheritance of Israel, for the men of Gibeah have committed a lewd and disgraceful act in Israel. Now then, all your sons of Israel, all of you, give your advice and counsel here regarding what should be done." Then all the people stood unified as one man, saying, "None of us will go to his tent, and none of us will return to his home until it is settled. But now this is the thing which we will do to Gibeah. We will go up by lot against it. And we will take 10 men out of 100 throughout the tribes of Israel, and 100 out of 1,000, and 1,000 out of 10,000 to bring provisions for the men, so that when they come to Gibeah of Benjamin, they may punish them for all the despicable acts which they had committed in Israel." So the men of Israel assembled against the city, unified as one man. So when something horrific had happened, they came together and were unified. I'm going to read here. It says, "Both individually and corporately, the Israelites of this period were functioning as a law unto themselves, for every man did what was right in his own eyes. One notable exception to this was the response to the loathsome rape and killing of a concubine. The result of this outrageous covenant violation was that all Israel gathered together as one man and decided they would not rest until the crime was punished. The people were shocked into unity against sin." This is still true that crisis in life often serve to bring people together to work for a common cause or fight against a common enemy. While this can be a good result of difficult times, it's important that God's people be united in serving Him in peace as well as crisis. It's interesting. So all the men of Israel assembled against the city, united as one man. And the tribes of Israel sent men through the entire tribe of Benjamin, saying, "What is this evil thing that had been done to you? Now therefore turn over the men, the worthless and wicked men, and give us, that we may put them to death and remove this wickedness from Israel." But the Benjamites would not listen to the voice of their brothers, the sons of Israel. They're not going to do this. Then the tribe of the sons of Benjamin gathered from the cities to go out to battle against the other sons of Israel. And the Benjamites assembled out of their cities at the time 26,000 men who drew the swords, beside the inhabitants of Gibeah, who assembled 700 chosen men. Out of all these people were 700 chosen left-handed men. Each one could sling stones at a target no wider than a hair and not miss. Then the men of Israel, other than Benjamin, assembled 400,000 men who drew the sword. All of these were men of war. Civil war, Benjamin defeated. The men of Israel arose and went up to Bethel and asked of God and said, "Which of us shall take the lead to battle against the sons of Benjamin?" And the Lord said, "Judah shall go up first." Then the fighting men of the sons of Israel arose in the morning and camped against Gibeah. The men of Israel went out to battle against Benjamin and assembled in battle formation against them. The sons of Benjamin came out of Gibeah and struck to the ground on that day 22,000 men of Israel. But the people, the fighting men of Israel, took courage and strengthened themselves and set out again in the same place where they formed on the first day. And the sons of Israel went up and wept before the Lord until evening, and asked of the Lord, "Shall we advance to battle against the sons of our brothers Benjamin?" And the Lord said, "Go up against them." The Lord graciously answered them twice when they called upon Him. So the sons of Israel came against the sons of Benjamin the second day, and the fighting men from the tribe of Benjamin went out of Gibeah against them the second day, and again struck to the ground, and the sons of Israel, 18,000 men, all of whom were swordsmen. Then all the sons of Israel and all the people went up and came to Bethel and wept, and they sat there before the Lord and fasted that day until evening, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. And the sons of Israel inquired of the Lord, for the ark of the covenant of the Lord was there at Bethel in those days. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, ministered before it in those days, saying, "Shall I yet again go out to battle against the sons of my own brother Benjamin, or shall I quit?" And the Lord said, "For tomorrow I will hand them over to you." So they set up a men in ambush around Gibeah, and the fighting men of the sons of Israel went up against the sons of Benjamin on the third day and placed themselves in the battle formation against Gibeah. And the Benjamites went out against their army and were lured away from the city, and they began to strike and kill some of the people. So at other times on the highways, one of which goes up to Bethel, to the other of Gibeah, in the open country, about 30 men of Israel. And the Benjamites, we talk about Phinehas here. Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, he ministered before. He said, he was the grandson of Aaron who had stopped the plague at Peor. The fact that he was still alive shows that the organization of the book of Judges is not strictly chronological. The author may have placed this account at the end of the book to make the point even more strongly about the spiritual deterioration of the nation. So that's good. Somebody caught a little bit of information I would have not caught. So then all the men of Israel got up from their places and placed themselves in battle formation at Baal Tamar. And the men of Israel, who were in ambush, rushed from their place in that plain of Merah-Geba. When the 10,000 choice fighting men from all of Israel came against Gibeah, the battle was hard and fierce, but the Benjamites did not realize the disaster was about to strike them. And the Lord struck down the tribe of Benjamin before Israel, so that the sons of Israel destroyed 25,100 men of Benjamin that day, all of whom were swordsmen. So the Benjamites realized that they were defeated. The men of Israel gave ground to the Benjamites because they relied on the men in ambush whom they placed against Gibeah. Then the men in ambush quickly rushed and attacked Gibeah, and the men in ambush also deployed and struck the entire city with the edge of the sword. Yeah. Now the appointed signal between the men of Israel and the men in ambush was that they would make a great cloud of smoke rise from the city. So the men of Israel turned in battle, and Benjamin began to strike and kill about 30 men of Israel, for they said, certainly they are defeated before us in the first battle. But when the signal cloud began to rise in a column of smoke, the Benjamites looked behind them, and behold, the entire city was up in smoke. When the men of Israel turned back again, the men of Benjamin were terrified, for they saw a disaster had fallen upon them. Therefore they turned their backs before the men of Israel and fled toward the direction of the wilderness. But the battle followed and overtook them. As the fighting men of the sons of Benjamin ran among them, the Israelites of the city came out and destroyed them. They surrounded the men of Benjamin, pursued them relentlessly, and overtook them opposite Gibeah toward the east. Then 18,000 men of Benjamin fell, all of these brave, able warriors. Their survivors of Benjamin turned and fled toward the wilderness to the rock of Rimmah. And Israel caught 5,000 of them on the roads and overtook them and killed 2,000 of them. So all of Benjamin who fell that day were 25,000 men who drew the sword, all of them brave and able warriors. But 600 men turned and fled toward the wilderness to the rock of Rimmah and stayed at the rock of Rimmah for 4 months. The men of Israel turned back against the tribe of the sons of Benjamin and struck them with the edge of the sword, both the entire city of Gibeah and the livestock and all they found. They also set on fire all the surrounding towns which they found. So it says, the spiritual decay of Israel had resulted in the destruction of its own people with a vengeance once reserved for pagan people. This is your daily Bible chapter reading God's Word Monday through Friday. See you tomorrow.